I remember when my first girlfriend broke up with me. This was the girl I thought I was in love with. She was, without a doubt, the girl I thought I was going to marry. I cried for hours. I even called my boss at the restaurant I was working at and told him that I would like to take the next month off so I could feel better. My parents, my friends, and everyone else, they told me to feel better soon and to not worry about it. They told me that I would find someone else. Perhaps you've been in a similar situation where you were sad and other people told you to feel better. We live in a society where negative emotions are discouraged. In reality, emotions are neither good nor bad. They are just emotions, and all emotions serve a purpose. Imagine two cavemen, Uga and Buga. Uga and Buga left their cave one morning to hunt for food. They see a lion. Buga runs up to the lion and starts hitting it with a stick. The lion eats him. Uga was shocked, scared, and sad. He ran as fast as he could away from the lion back into his cave. The next time he saw a lion, he didn't dare go towards it. Now imagine if Uga didn't experience negative emotions and just watched the lion eat his friend. We would not be here today. Negative emotions such as failure allow us to learn from our mistakes. A study has shown that cortisol, which is a hormone released when we are stressed, actually improved our ability to learn in the moment. On the other hand, the excess release of cortisol could lead to heart disease and other problems. So I'm not saying to expose yourself to as many negative emotions as you can, but it goes to show that all emotions serve a purpose. Being assertive is a skill to letting others know how you feel. Set boundaries to what you are willing and not willing to do. Am I saying always be assertive? No. Sometimes it is emotionally intelligent to hold back on assertiveness. Imagine your boss is angry at you. You may or may not want to be assertive at that moment. Maybe you'll decide to talk to him or her later. Reading other people's feelings and acting in accordance to that is a form of emotional intelligence. Which brings us to empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand how someone else is feeling. In Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, habit number 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Imagine me telling you to subscribe to my channel because I spent over 50 hours creating this video. Or that I've asked my boss that since I've been working for many years, I deserve a raise. Do you care how long I spent making this video? What if I told you I spent 1,000 hours making this video? Would it have made a difference? What value am I giving you by making this video? Even if I spent 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 hours on my video, if all I talked about was absolute nonsense, would you watch it and subscribe to see my future videos? Probably not. The key is knowing what value you are giving to the audience. Whether it's an interesting educational video or you are a productive employee who is achieving results. Empathy. Seek first to understand, and you will be understood. Understanding another's emotions involves noticing their verbal cues and body language. Imagine you are in China right now. Assuming you don't speak Chinese, do you think you'll be able to communicate with a local there? You might think that you can't because you imagine being a tourist. The words that come out of your mouth would usually be a question. How do I get somewhere? What is good to eat here? Do you know where I can visit? But now picture smiling at the Chinese man. Picture him smiling back at you. You can hold out your hand. He shakes it. It's nice to meet you too. Is he nervous? Is he scared? Is he happy to see you? Do you see a smile? Are you smiling? Do you see where I'm going? Professor Albert Moravian in his study found that communication of emotions and feelings is made up of 55% body language, 38% tone of voice, and only 7% of what is actually being said. That means 93% of communication is independent of what is actually being said. Reading body language could be tricky. Imagine you are hiring a receptionist and someone comes in for an interview. She sits down, crosses her arms. Is she nervous? Is she defensive? Or is she simply just cold? Individual body language cues could be misleading. That's why we should look at everything together when we assess someone's body language. If her arms are crossed, has a frown, legs are pointing away from you, and it's a hot summer day, she's probably not cold, and she is defensive, or you did something that triggered her into that state. If her arms are crossed, but she is smiling, her legs are pointing towards you, her body language is open, she's probably just cold. Perhaps you could ask her if she needs a jacket. Our brain's interpretation of stimuli is split up into two areas, the limbic system and the neocortex. The limbic system is an immediate response pathway. Have you ever been startled by something and immediately jumped backwards, only to realize it's just a shadow or something small? Our limbic system is our natural response to get ourselves out of immediate danger. When we see a snake or hear a car speeding towards us, our limbic system tells us to move immediately. What if the snake was a non-venomous snake? What if it was a rubber snake? What if the car was actually the sound of a lawnmower? Our neocortex, the rational part of our brain, distinguishes whether something is harmful or not. But our neocortex is slower than our limbic system, so we usually realize that after we've already reacted. The same goes with anger. Have you ever been angry at someone? Maybe it's your boss that criticized you. Maybe it's your spouse that did something you didn't like and you felt anger. Anger usually triggers the limbic system. The next time we feel anger, we can force our neocortex to take over by thinking of a complex math problem. Simple enough to solve in a few seconds, but complex enough to require thinking. That was Emotional Intelligence by Gill Hasson. Subscribe to learn more.